Okay, it should be live now.
I'm just in the gym working on my fitness.
He's my witness. Oh.
To E to A to E to
Let's see.
I blow my kisses. Yeah.
He's my witness. I be up in the gym just working on my fitness. He's my witness. Oh, fuck.
For goodness sake. For the
Wonder if it's gonna storm anytime soon today, because we're supposed to have bad
Probably
storms
because
all day.
we got some nasty rain last night.
Yeah, we were supposed to get something today, and it still hasn't done anything yet. So it's like,
Are you gonna fucking rain or not?
all right, it is humid as fuck. I'm done with it. Okay. Just tweeting. I'm just tweeting. I'm just tweeting. We know how this
Oh
all
no, do your
goes.
thing, do your thing. Shit, I just sat down, so
Because
shit.
God forbid they make this easy, and it's just like,
Oh, do your thing, shit. Hell, you can even hit the start button. Fuck these people.
I already started the stream, so it's all good.
Like I said, these people.
Fuck these. I know what you're saying. I got you.
Not gonna come to this goddamn stream one way or another.
Is there anything else? No, it's good for Twitter. Fuck that. I know how like the notifications like delay going out, and it's so obnoxious. It's like, come on now. Okay, good. My audio's working. That's great. That's fabulous. Let me go to Tumblr. Let me tweet it there and maybe do a snap, and we're good to go. Sweet fantasy, baby. Na, 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 na. All right, and do that. Duh, duh. Short, sweet, to the point for Tumblr. Oh, my nose
Today's
itches.
daily objectives is easy.
Oh, I know. I got it done so quick.
Yeah, contact mission. I just picked blowing up, blew some shit up, and I was done.
Yup, yup.
Like they take my oppressor or take all my sticky bombs one way or another. This shit is getting done.
Yeah, I think my contact mission was like get Cheng, I think it was, for the hotel. And I did that with like a level 100 and something. Like he was a lower
Complete
100, I think.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say. Oh, wait.
That was the one
It
that
don't
threw
make
me
us.
in. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait.
Wait, what's going on?
I didn't do that one.
I didn't do that one
Is that the
specifically.
one? Is that the one?
Well,
No.
considering how Rockstar
No.
likes to mess with us on whatever daily, it's just like you never know, and it's that's the
You
obnoxious
really
part.
don't.
Oh, my
You
nose.
just don't.
Sweet fantasy, baby. No, I'm not. It's gonna be stuck in my head. All right,
To the D, to the A,
all
to
right.
the D, to the to the.
I'm like being super lazy with that. Cool. All right, so we're back with another episode of What Do You Think, Bitch, where we are not prepared for anything. Just
No.
kidding.
Yeah.
The most I
Not
did
not even
while
life.
waiting was try to rearrange the layouts, like just change it up a little bit, see what works, and all that jazz. But
Yeah,
no,
let me
we
get my computer out the living room. I ain't even set up.
honestly we weren't prepared for anything. We never
I
are,
just got to the
honestly.
door. I literally just got to the door. Just literally got to the door.
Yeah, yeah. He was AWOL for a bit, you know what I mean? We found him. It's all good.
I was driving. I was driving. They
Sure.
answer. I was driving, and then I was sitting in the parking lot talking to my friend, and like we were talking about like,
Yeah.
oh, I got some good stories though.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
right, all right, so me and my boy, like he just got out of his relationship recently, and
Mhm.
we were like, yeah, we were just talking about like, man, like back like just a few years ago, all the stuff, all the crazy shit we did prior to us being in relationships, like and it's just like, yeah, it's like all crazy how it comes all in the full circle. We was talking about like women and things like that, and just
Mhm.
like we even told stories where like it's always like so fucking like why like after you get in a relationship you find out X, Y, and Z likes you, and it was like it always happens like that for guys. See, it happens like that for women, but y'all don't like when that shit happens. Y'all don't like when dudes are telling you, "Oh, I like you so much for so long," and blah blah blah. This is
Mhm.
like I don't care. Like y'all don't give like for us, it's like you couldn't have said anything sooner, bitch. Like, oh.
You know that it's it's kind of funny that you say that because I've had instances in the past where like there was this one guy in particular. I've brought him up before. I'll say his name. I don't care. His name's Josh.
Uh-huh.
And I went to school with him. I didn't really ever talk to him. Like I know him from like high school and shit like that. Like never really spoke with him or anything. So like after high school, like he, you know how people do, they add everybody on Facebook and like da 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 da.
Yeah.
And he would hit me up about certain music because me and my friend Nanya would like, you know, have like these little threads of music and just battle it out that way. And he would chime in. And so he would start like hitting me up on Skype and like talk to me on Skype and like, you know, being very friendly. He randomly bought me the Marianas Trench albums and like sent them to me on there. I never asked him for it, never, nothing. And then like he randomly was like thinking that I was gonna go out with him or something. Like he was just like, "Well, I've liked you for this amount of time," or da 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 da, and you know, I should have a shot and da da da, and like he was just being super crazy about it. And I'm like, "You think you should have said something that you liked me?" And yeah,
Yeah,
you want something?
it's like that's what me and my boy was talking about. Like that's what we was talking about. We was like he ended up finding out like this one girl like that dated one of his closest friends, but then she ended up telling him like after they were long broke up, like I always liked you. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, like I didn't think you liked me like that. And our me and him and our point was, Shorty, you a female. We
Mm-hmm.
like you more than you like us. Like it's like
Fair enough. Fair enough. And like
it's
it's
like yeah, you like us more than we like. You're a female. You have boobs. Like we're gonna automatically like, even if we don't, we're gonna like you just because you're hot and whatever the case may be. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
There's something about that person that attracts you to them. So it's like
all
it's
right, yeah, like,
automatically
but for girls, it's like something has to strike her. For her, and like my boy's case, like she liked him when like, and they were like, I think like early high school, just out of middle school, whatever like that. Like he used to play basketball and stuff like that. So one day he took off his shirt or whatever like that, and then she
mm-hmm.
said she got like turned on by him, and then she didn't know she like liked him like that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right.
it's they pay me $900 for that GTA mission. What the fuck? Oh, that's an insult. See, this don't know what. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, but yeah, it is just like yeah, like instances like that, like yeah, like it.
Mm-hmm.
I even told a story where like the girl, like this one girl, we in like it's always like a sequence like this. Me and my boy, like one of my friends at the time, always like this one girl that may be in her class or something like that. We both like looking
Mm-hmm.
at her like, oh, she really cute and whatever like that may be. And then the other friend ends up getting with that girl that you like.
Yeah.
And then it found out years later when both of us are like well off in relationships or whatever situation where that person liked me. And it's like, fuck you. Like, it's just kind of like one of those things. It's like, fuck you. Like, how dare
Right.
you tell me this now? Like, cause I is with this particular person I was talking about, I know I tried to shoot my shot
Right.
on more than one occasion with this person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's just like ridiculous. And
Like
my almost got ran over on the
I get
flavor.
it. Like the frustration in the whole dating world can be crazy, but it's like if you're not giving clear communication to a particular person, it's not gonna work. Honestly.
Right. So it's like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, like, and then it's funny, and it's like, and then the people I've never really like said I wanted interest in or anything like that. Like I always kept I like I'm a person who keeps it 100. If I like you, I like you. I'll tell you. If I
Mhm.
want to hit or I want to smash, I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
Like I'll tell any one of my people around. Like if like yeah, like if I like I said, if
Yeah.
it's certain people, I'll tell them like, look, you getting smashed.
Right.
Like if I have the opportunity, you're getting mad. Like it's just one of those things. Like yeah, it's like yeah, like it's just like yeah, like it's one of those things. Is it's funny. Like it's funny how all that stuff come. Even like not too long ago this year before I got married.
Mhm.
Like this one girl I had liked, but who that we we all become like really good friends because we run with the same people.
Right.
But it's like it's funny that particular me and that one particular female, we
Mhm.
both liked each other, but neither one of us said anything to each other
Right.
during that time because I didn't know that person like me, and you know what I'm saying.
You
Oh,
weren't
new
gonna shoot that
contracts are
shot.
now available. New contracts are now available.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I totally understand that. Like,
It's like damn, like yeah, I would have said something back then if had I knew.
yeah, because in some cases you don't want to shoot that shot because in the event that they don't like you like that and they, you know,
Like yeah, you mess up your friend group. Like it's one. Like yeah, I'll say it's one particular. Like this one. Like since I've been in college, I've there's a couple girls I can say I
mhm,
like. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like one of them are like really one of my like legit close friends. Well, a
mhm.
couple of them are like really legit close friends. Where like you can't say anything
Oh Lord.
at that point.
Right.
Like it's too late. Even if like both of you are single at the right time, it's you've built it a different connection. So it's like yeah, it's only tempting because like that girl is still hot and you want to talk to her, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like yeah, it's like now it's off limits. Y'all friends now, like literally just
Right.
like legit friends. You can't say anything. So it's
Yeah.
like it's one of those things where like you just gotta bite the bullet on. Like you just gotta bite the bullet on and kind of just say like yeah, like I did like you at one point. It's not that you're not hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just I'm in a relationship, and then at the time I liked you, you were in a relationship. So the stars never lined up
Right.
for us to get to that point together, you know?
Like, even
If
though you don't know how the outcome is going to be, it would have been nice had they said something that way. If the cards fall where
exactly.
they fall, it is what it is. But don't come at me later when, say, I'm in a relationship or whatever, and then be like, well, I liked you. Why didn't you give me a shot? Da 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 da. Da. Because I didn't fucking know. Like, or it's just for the pure fact that you might not be attracted to that person, and they think just because that you're nice or whatever that they automatically should have a shot because they like you. It's a
Right.
it's a two-way street. It can't be just one way. It just can't just because you like me, I'm supposed to give you a shot. It has to be we both have to mesh. It has to work.
It just gotta line up, man. Like it just gotta line up. It can't be
Right.
like it just like yeah, at that time we just weren't gonna be because like if I said something to you while you were in a relationship, you
Hmm.
gonna end up not being my friend. So it's I lose out.
A lot of the time it puts you in this
And
awkward
then you end up not in that
situation.
relationship, and I still don't have a shot with you because now you think I'm a disrespectful ass dude.
Yeah.
So
There's
I have more to lose in this situation. I lose out on a
yeah,
decent friend. You know what I'm saying?
because
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I got more to lose in this situation because I lose a decent friend.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That I'm really close with,
Yeah.
and I don't get the girl, and that person end up not in a relationship anymore. I thought that was a player, but
It's for anybody that wants to know, he is messing around on GTA, so if he says anything randomly, that's why. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, like that's the thing. It's because it makes it look like when you go and say that to somebody that's in a relationship, it makes it seem like you're trying to poach that relationship, like you're trying to
yeah,
weasel your way
yeah,
in.
like it may not be like yeah, and you use your leverage as a friend to find out how my relationship is. So you playing me a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like
trying
yeah,
to get
that
those
person can feel.
insider tips in a sense.
Yeah, it's like yeah, you thought if you be my friend, you get the ordeal, you get the
You find out
you
all
know
the
what I'm saying, you get to
problems. You get
find
yeah.
out everything else, like yeah, like and it's like I
Hmm.
wouldn't like that,
No.
like I grew feelings for you, and I've seen cases even fairly recent where I've seen people who were friends, they were really good friends,
Hmm.
they tried to give it a shot, and their
Hmm.
relationship fucking plummeted
Yeah.
so bad, where they like, and then like. the other person hurt the other person more because they know everything about them, and then they told all everybody else their deeper secrets and stuff like that.
Yup. It just
And
make
it's like, yeah,
it's
like yeah, you a foul ass dude for that.
yeah.
You foul.
It
So
just
like yeah,
it becomes a hot mess because the in that sense it's like the that friend, that best friend, whoever like has a feeling for the chick or whoever it may be, whether it's male, female, whatever. Um, but in this instance, we'll use male to female. Um, the male best friend is like he's getting all the insider stuff, he's hearing all the drama, he's
he
hearing all
can
the
like yeah,
problems,
like
and
that
he can
person
use
has such a
that
and like guys, we don't learn that, but we have such a manipulative edge at
yep
that point. Like, yeah, like this
because
person trusts us more than they trust. Maybe they just
yeah
because you're that person's significant other doesn't mean you know what I'm saying? Like
hmm
they still can't be vulnerable with that person,
but because a lot
possibly.
of the time you want to go to your friend and like discuss an issue with your friend and get their opinion about it, but then if that person, that friend,
That
has
friend
feelings
has
for
been trying
you,
to fuck you just as much as your boyfriend or
so
girlfriend or
what they
whatever,
could do is use that and go to your significant other and use it against you so that way you break up and then they can get at you. It's
Exactly.
like a master plan.
Or not even that. Like yeah,
Yeah.
or like not just that too. You know what I'm saying? Like because they felt like they got so close, like they're like, so
Yep.
you've been close with me because you wanted something more than what I was going to give you. Like, no, you're
hmm
my friend, dude. Like, yeah, it's not going to happen. Like,
Exactly.
even if I break up with the next 16 dudes, that's not how I looked at you. I trust you on a different level
Well,
than
and
I trust those
it
people.
becomes like a bitter situation because then that person who really wants this
Felt
relationship,
betrayed, felt hurt, and like in more way. And not only did they just got a situation where they made it felt betrayed and hurt with that significant other,
hmm
now the one thing they felt that was consistent in their life has been snatched away because of some enticing
hmm
feeling.
and that can always lead to extra drama, whether they spread rumors or they like just try to ruin any future
Oh,
relationship you
like, yeah,
have,
like
and
you
it's
listen
just
to all my personal, private
it's
thoughts, and you use that as leverage for yourself.
yeah.
Like I even my old friends who shall remain nameless. Like, yeah, you know this person.
Yeah, I
You know what I'm
know.
saying? Like, yeah, like I
We've
trusted them
spoke.
with everything, and they were so fucking brutal and mean to me. Like it wasn't even funny. Like like
Yeah, we spoke about this person a couple times on the podcast, and
yeah, it was bad. Like
it was
anybody who
bad.
was there can see it. It was just bad. Like it was just like yeah, like
And like you wanted to keep giving this person a shot. You wanted to keep
you
give them a
want so bad,
chance.
like you want it so bad, like cause like especially you got such a long history with this person, you
Yep.
don't want to just end on that note. But coming to find out down the line, like down the line, you find out like, oh, so you was just being this way because you felt sorry for me in an aspect, and you like yeah, like but
Well, and it
that's
was
not what I needed. I when you came into my life, we
yeah.
were both at vulnerable stages in our
hmm
lives. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
and
When that person came in, like we were both very vulnerable,
yeah.
very, 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 what I'm saying, very lonely. We didn't feel like we had a lot of people around us.
Well, and
You know what I'm saying? At that
I
time in our lives,
well, and the thing was, is you devoted so much time to this person, so
so
much,
much, like yeah, you invested so much emotional value,
and
so
I
much
even was like, that's
love, so much, like so much more than any
yeah,
relationship you can build. I can say out of anything I've ever done, I gave
you
everything
did,
to that person more than anything,
and to
and
like
it just
to clarify
and it wasn't enough for them.
to the
And that's
people
the hope.
to clarify to anybody who watches this, like when we say he devoted his time, he devoted a ton of time to this person. I can recall being on the game system with him for like not even like 5 minutes, and like she'd be calling and would have to
Yeah,
sit on the
like
phone with her for an hour or 2 hours or whatever while she did nothing. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
and now like yeah, and that's the devotion you give to that person.
Yeah,
That's the love and the time you give to that person. Is this person
and,
sitting on the office
and that
waiting
was the
waiting
worst
for me?
part was is like after he'd be done talking to her, it would be like not even 5 minutes later she'd call up again, and it would be like the same thing over and
Yeah, after a
over.
while, like it started to like, well, like damn, like dude,
And then
I'm
she
trying
would
to
get mad
do my
because you'd be
thing.
like, "I'm doing something," and she'd be like, bitch and moan about
Like you
it.
just got off the phone. You just hung. We just got off the phone with each other. Like
It's like
that's
you got
our.
nothing to talk
That was our
about.
time to talk. Like yeah. Like so. All right. Now I'm about to be up and play my video game now. Like I had to start separating that. Like all
It's
right. I'm about
like
to.
you're pissing off my other friends now because it's like we're trying to
Right,
do
exactly. Like
something.
nine, yeah, it's like nine, like yeah, like I can't do two things at once. Like yeah, we're not even talking, and like yeah, like you got on the phone, you got off the phone with me to get on the phone with somebody else. Then your conversation ended, you
Well, and
call
that
me
was
right back. So it's
and
just like yeah, after a while, like well, I'm
and it was
busy
like
now.
you became like this placeholder for her because if she wasn't hanging out with the guys that she was trying to smash and like get money out of or get
Dude,
gifts from,
yeah, or do whatever. You
you
know
were
what
the
I'm saying?
placeholder.
Like,
And I'm like, so she's
yeah.
basically treating you like you're her boyfriend, but you're not her boyfriend. You're just there to listen to
You
her
get all the
bitch and
other
moan.
shit. You get all the other shit the other boyfriend might not get because you
Mm-hmm.
hiding in that shit from that person. But you
Yep.
giving me everything,
Yep.
everything except pussy.
But to be fair, she was
And it
playing a
might have
bunch
made
of
it a little
games, so
easier if you did give me some shit.
at least then I could justify it a little bit, just a
Like
little
it's like
bit.
shit. Like yeah. Like I'm not even getting in between relationship pussy. Like shit. Like okay, you're not with somebody. Like you can at least break me off like a every now and then thing just to like yeah. Like all right, I'll shut the
Like
fuck up.
you
But
were
like yeah.
getting no affection, you weren't getting anything from her, and I'm like,
Nah, yeah, I'm just getting
I'm over here thinking like,
bitch.
the fuck are you
It's
doing?
like I'm like yeah. I can say that's the most like I've invested in any fucking body, and it was for over 10 years,
Yes.
even years before I met you. Like
Yep.
that was a thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's just one of those things where like yeah, like I devoted so much time and so much thing that like yeah, and then like yeah, you get nothing back for it. So that's
And
what me and my friend was talking about. Like yeah, like we was talking about like it's just
when
when
I
you have nothing else to give,
mm,
you just done.
yeah.
Yeah,
When it like it bothered me because anytime that y'all would have an issue and she would just be treating you like shit and I'd be the one to hear it because we'd be on the game system and she would call up and start her shit with you or you would wind up telling me and you would get so upset about it and I'm like just let it go. She doesn't deserve your time. She doesn't deserve what you're giving her. All
it's
she's
like
giving you is just
it
a
hurts so
heartache
bad. It do.
over and over
It
and
hurt
over.
bad.
And then
It hurts bad.
he
Dude.
would give
Yeah.
shot after shot and it eventually became enough and I'm like dude, I was about to come fight her because I was done with it. I was done with her being a bitch. Like honestly.
Like how you treat somebody that cares about you that damn much. Like you give these other people
Mhm.
just chance after chance after chance,
Yep.
but you giving me the bullshit and then expecting me to accept the bullshit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And like me being a like at that time, I think I probably only knew you for like what 3 years at the time, maybe. I don't even know.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I
But
met I met that person.
mhm.
I met you in 2014.
Yeah.
Into 2013, yeah, into 20, yeah, it was during the business update. So whenever the
Yep.
business date was for GTA, that's when we
Yeah.
became friends. I known that person 4 years before that.
Yeah. Yeah, because we
So yeah,
consistently didn't like talk all that regularly on
all the
Xbox
time,
for
yeah,
a
yeah,
while, but then once we got comfortable with each other, became more of a regular thing.
regular
So,
thing. So like, we started playing GTA more on
well, and that
the
was when
Xbox
most of
One side.
the guys that you used to play with started dropping
Yeah,
off.
like I had
So,
my group of people back then and everything like that. I played with.
mhm,
So like yeah, I know
yep,
that. Like I was in high school with this person 4 years prior to that. We met.
mhm,
We were I was 19. That person was 17,
mhm,
who just turned 17 at that time.
right,
So like we go back.
yeah, you have a
We
history.
didn't stop being friends until
Just a few years ago, like, God,
going on to it'll be two this new upcoming New Year's.
yeah, because it was like what
Because
after
we
you
stopped being
moved, right, or
friends
right
the
before you moved.
beginning. Yeah, but no, we stopped being friends. Like our last official time being like in each other's lives
Mhm.
was January of 2020.
Okay.
Like not like fresh off of New Year's. The night before we're cool,
Mhm.
and then New Year's Day we just have a big explosion of an argument.
Yeah. Oh
Big,
yeah.
like to the point where I said I was the one this time who said more. I said
Mhm.
fuck you,
Well,
B
and
word,
I
you
think
fucking everything under the sun. You ain't gonna do
wasn't it
shit. I'm
at,
sick of you. Like everything.
wasn't it
Just
at that time you were like going to therapy or something or doing that and
well,
like they were even
I was still going to therapy before that, but like last the
okay.
summer
Yeah.
of 29, the summer of 2019, the beginning of the summer of 2019,
Mhm.
me and her had a big blow up then where we
Yeah.
weren't talking at all the whole summer. Like we had
Mhm.
stopped being friends then too.
Yeah.
So prior to us officially ending, we had two really just big blow ups where it's like
Mhm.
like I didn't have anything else to give because at that time I just wasn't
You were burnt
I
out.
just
You're
wasn't there
done.
for a lot of shit because me and Fave had broke up months
Yep.
before that. I just seemed like everything was crushing on me a lot. Like I just didn't
Well, and I
like
also
I
think,
felt like I had to work too hard to stay in RA. I was just burnt
yeah.
out of school, work. I was just burnt out and I just couldn't deal with her
Oh,
shit at
right.
that point. So I was like, all right, if you want to stop being my friend, fine. I don't like, yeah, all right, fine. Like we stopped talking for months. I didn't once reach out to her at all.
Mhm.
At all. I'll
Right.
say end of that summer by July,
Mhm.
early August, she reaches out to me and apologizes.
Yeah.
This has never happened. She never says sorry.
Mhm.
So because of that, I'm listening. Like I'm in that mode. I'm like, all
Right.
right, I'm listening.
Mhm.
And like she was sincerely sorry, so we gave it another shot.
Right.
All right, we going back. All right, we going slowly. All right, this time I'm really like I'm even doing what my therapist is telling me. Like I'm
Yeah.
just slowly integrating her back in if that like I'm keeping my eye on her because like she's
Keep
real
that guard up.
bipolar.
Yep.
Like I'm keeping my guard up where like you might like keep your guard up around her. And I said, oh, I am. Trust me, I don't. Nah, she not. Nah, fuck her. Like yeah, she not finna just get my friend. She not finna get my allegiance. So it took.
Mhm.
So from July all the way up to like November, like
Mhm.
that's when like we were getting back to a solid place where we can. All right, we can talk. We can do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like now you have my trust back. So like now it seemed like we're on the right path.
Right.
And but I still didn't. But I, as my sessions with my therapist, I told her like I don't trust her anymore. I
Mhm.
felt myself like I told like I said like I had a session with my that was really big. Like I said, all right, I've been friends with this person again for some months now.
Mhm.
Like by this point, it's November. Like so, this session is. I said it. I said it. I don't love her anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't like legitly. I don't love her no more.
Yeah, you don't have that love for her
Like
no
the
more.
love I have for her is gone because she can disappear tomorrow and I wouldn't give a fuck.
Right.
And we're not arguing or nothing. I just don't care for her anymore. I don't love her no more.
I totally get it. Cuz
You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I don't love you no more.
at
Like yeah,
some point you
like
have to say enough is enough.
enough. Like yeah, like I think I never quite got healed from our original fight,
Mhm.
and I didn't see how I could,
Right.
and I don't
Uh,
see how I could. Like I said, nah, because she had said some pretty. She said
yeah,
sorry
she
for
did.
it, but she just said some pretty
But it
just
hurt.
hard shit. Where like I can't forgive her because she can do that again,
Yeah.
and on cue,
Well,
New
she was always
Year's
one to use your flaws or things against you.
use things against me that I like. You know,
Like she thought her shit didn't stink, but then she would like
word.
pick every little flaw about you or things that you were insecure about and throw it in your face. And just like
Yeah, and
rub
I'm like,
salt in that wound and just that's what it was.
just grind it with the
Yeah.
bottom of her motherfucking Converse.
And I
So
think
it's just like
at that point it was just like when you did have that reconnection for that short bit of time, it was you that said, I'm done.
I didn't nobody knew I was friends with this person again. None of that, you know.
Mhm.
Like I didn't broadcast it. I just like all right, we're gonna take it day at a time,
Right.
you know. So like yeah, like that was the I can say that was like the legit like love of my life at one point. Like
Mhm.
that's the one person I gave my heart to,
It was
but
ride
she
or
had stomped
die.
on it
That's what it
too.
was.
But right, like more than any girl I can ever talk to or
Mhm.
anything, you know, and but that person just stepped on me too many times and I just like, you know what?
It
I
was you
can't
coming
give
to
you
the
no more.
realization that it was toxic and that's
It
what you
was
needed.
toxic. It's
You
just
needed that
not worth doing no more.
you needed
So
that
for
final
people out
chance.
there, like
Mhm.
it takes time.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like it takes time to really build a strength. And then, you
I
know, in the process, like I did learn to love again with friends. I have
yep.
Cherry here, you know what I'm saying?
See?
Like, yeah, like and then Cherry opened her black heart to me up at one point
I
and
mean,
loved me back. And it's like, really? You
but
love
I'll deny
me?
it.
You you love me? I've been working on your ass for almost a decade.
Well, and that's the thing. I think we're very similar in that sense where I am guarded given my past experiences, but
Yeah.
I love very hard. And so once like I know that we're tight, we're good. I'm there no matter what.
I was like, yay! I was like, it's so many years after
And
just trying
and that's the
peace
thing.
and peace, peeling back those
I mean, I
layers, and then
did.
eventually it worked out.
But that's the thing. It's like we grew tight over the years. Like once your group of friends kind of dwindled down on Xbox and like mine kind of dwindled, we meshed really
We
well
only had
together.
each other at one. I mean, shit, it was
Yeah.
hell. It's still us, but it's like, yeah, we only had each other. It's like, fuck, shit.
But the thing is, we're
TJ
kind of
was gone at
antisocial.
one point. Karma and everybody disappeared. Like, like on some
uh,
stupid shit, of
I mean,
course. But
we are kind of antisocial in the sense we are somewhat a little bit shy. We
it
kind of like,
takes a while for us to like really like, all right, can we trust these people with our games? Because
yeah.
we like to play them a certain way. Like,
And like, we don't deal with assholes very well because we are assholes. So it's like, you fuck with our friends, you fuck with our family, you fuck with whatever that we wholeheartedly love and want to protect. We have a problem. You know what I mean? So,
like fuck. I don't. I don't find it very comic relieving if I've been working hard on something. It could
yeah.
be a fucking Minecraft fucking tower or something,
Hmm.
and you find it funny
If
to
I went in
destroy
there
it.
and like put a bunch of TNT and blew it up while he's working on it, he's gonna be pissed at me.
Oh
And,
yeah, well, like
and like, look, we've had our petty arguments. Like it's a lot of time, like with GTA, we've had
I mean
misunderstandings
but that's
about
with
things.
anybody.
Yeah,
You're gonna have those stretches of moment where
and
you
that's
just
well, that's the thing. We've had our petty arguments, whether it's in game, whatever. It's mostly in game because there's some sort of misunderstanding. Our tempers get flying, and then we just have to separate for a few hours, maybe a day or two. We cool down, and then we're back to it.
you'll be
Because it's like the problem with us is like you tell one of us we're wrong, or you assume or you say that I said something, or da 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 da. We're like,
Hey,
fuck you.
no. For feeling the way you gonna tell me that my feelings are wrong? Oh,
Well, fuck you.
well, fuck your feelings, bitch.
It's like, and this is a common cycle, like whether it was with me and TJ, because there's been petty arguments with me and TJ where he just do things to get under somebody's skin, and he's done it with you where he just gets under your skin just because he wants to see how far he can push you. But then give it a few days, he cannot take the silent treatment. He does not like me not talking to him. He does not like me not like being mad at him. He hates it because I'm the one person that's been ride or die and tell him like it is, and it is what it is. I've known him longer than I've known Davis, and if he ever shows up in the streams, he's just been busy with work and shit. But you know what I mean? I am ride or die, and
I'm
like,
trying not to be poor anymore. I'm trying not to be poor anymore, okay? Like, damn. I go
but like, I can relate to Davis' situation with that one chick because I have a group of friends. They're petty as fuck. They're catty as fuck. And when I say this, like I've been friends with these girls, some of them from middle school. All right, we were all
yeah.
tight. Da 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 da. After high school, we were pretty tight in high school, but then you start seeing their cattiness and the way they would treat people.
Like,
Um,
I'm growing different from this person. Like,
yeah, and you know, there's certain things that have been said to me. Like my one friend, I never really had a problem really with her, but like she had said something to me like that her mother like looked down on me a little bit because my actual mother, my biological mother, isn't in my life, and I have no problem with that. Like I hate the bitch. Let's be
right.
real. Um, but I have a bonus mother in a sense, so I was blessed. I can always go in that story later. But everyone, I've mentioned her a million times before. Her name's Brenda. I've known her since I was born, since before I was born. So there's that. Hi Julian, welcome to the chat. But um, yeah, so it's like, that, yeah, that hurts a little bit. But then these girls that we were friends with, and she knew these girls so much longer than I did. They grew up together. They started talking shit about her, and because she had a pregnancy scare and this and that, and they just basically called her a tramp and this and that. And I was like,
Yeah, like,
oh
yeah,
my
stuff like
god,
that. Yeah.
oh my god. But there's more. Julian, I'm doing good. How are you? I have my friend Davis here on our podcast, so you won't
Hello.
see him. He's talking.
I'm cyborg. Just think of cyborg.
Yeah, I made that. I was gonna change it every so often, but right now he's just staying cyborg because I'm too lazy. Um, but my past experience with these girls after that whole thing, like my one friend, she went off to college, the one that had the pregnancy scare and everything. She was experimenting. Um, with shrooms and shit like that, and living her life. You know what I mean? She can't be pure and like all like Holy Mary, whatever. And they would talk shit, and I'm like, oh my god, like, are you kidding me? So when it came down to shit that was going on in my life, like, I had to grow up somewhat quick. A lot of people do. I would take care of my grandfather, and I have no regrets about that ever, never. If he was still alive today, I'd still take care of him. I have no problem with that. I would give up anything to do that because family is that important, and that man sacrificed everything for this country, for his family, everything. I would do anything, right? Um, so I'll answer that in a second, Julian. Um, but then they would talk shit, and they were like, "Oh well, why doesn't she come and hang out with us? Oh, she can't have depression. I have depression. Da 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 da. She can't have anxiety. I have anxiety." And I'm like, these dumb hoes invited me to a group chat where they were talking about me and couldn't think that I could read back on the chat, and they're saying all this stuff about me. I'm sorry I have more responsibility than you. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
like
I
I
take
hate
care of
when people
family.
do that. Like, you don't think it's rude to like
Well, and they
talk around me? Like, if you talk,
and then
that happened to me one time with my ex friend's friend, like her best friend from like
yeah,
like elementary. Like they
yeah.
one time had a conversation with me there, like around me, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
don't do that, don't do
Well, and then they were like, "Oh, well, you can walk over to come see us." They lived across town. It would take me like hours if I were to walk, okay, from where we were, because I didn't drive at the time. I mean, we only had one car, anyways. So it was like, duh. Julian, let me answer this really quick for you since we're like chit chatting. Great. What do you usually stream? Well, right now we're doing the podcast where we just kind of talk.
that.
Sometimes we have topics. Today we don't really have topics. We're just kind of like putting it out there because we went on like a relationship tangent.
Oh yeah,
Um,
like the base of it is basically like me and a friend were reminiscing of just about the last few years of our life, and then
mhm.
we started talking about history, and then I started talking about a
it,
past relationship that was
yeah,
similar to
and then
many past
it
relationships.
dives into this friendship thing. We also, well, Davis joins me sometimes. I do stream gaming from my computer, so usually it's Among Us with Cam, Days Gone, um,
Solitaire.
yeah, Solitaire. I played Blackjack the other day.
I know I saw the
Um,
video.
Red Dead. Well, Red Dead's more console. 7 Days to Die. I'm trying to think. I can play GTA on the computer. I just have to work that shit out. I'm sorry, I have to. I've been very slow with it. Um, we play Red Dead on the console. We play GTA on the console. We just have a good time. We just play a bunch of games. We just do whatever and just kind of like talk and you know. I mean, everybody's about the Red Dead because they like to hear us talk like cowboyish, and it never turns out the way they want it to.
God damn. You can't expect me to.
Well, because they
You
want me.
can't expect me to spit water and shit lightning all the time.
Well, they want me to like. They want me to do like a proper like cowgirl, and it's like I really just want to go to manly cowboy for some reason. It's just really easy. Like, damn it, damn
God damn it.
tarnation. Or I can go all country belle and have a mint julep on a hot summer day. Now, the one night they were trying to get me to do a bunch of different accents, like while I was playing GTA. Like they wanted me to do a British accent, they wanted me to do an Australian accent. I'm like, you can't just put me on the spot and make me do it. It just comes out. But yeah, we just have a good time. We play whatever. We just yeah. You can watch past streams. They're still up. I also have streams from the past linked to my YouTube, which should be linked on my Twitch here. So who knows? Do you play video? Yes, Julian. I just said I played video
I
games.
think that was a delayed question from him.
Oh, it might have been. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, but yes, we do play video games. Yes. We mainly play on Xbox, so a lot of the time when I'm playing Xbox, currently we will not have cam for that until I can have like a laptop or something set up. Um, but yes, we play quite a bit. I do some on PC. I usually do that by myself. Maybe in the future we'll get something going, but though I had problems with Streamlabs this week with playing Among Us with my cam, so I'm a little mad about that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. It was lagging, it was driving me nuts, so we just did something different. It's a little slow in the chat today just because I think people are running errands and everything else, which is fine. Get it done. Do your thing. It's summer too, so c'est la vie. Oh, that reminds me, I did like a Russian accent the other day when I was playing GTA.
Ugh,
I was all over
ugh.
the place.
Yeah, but other than that though, yeah. But other than that, to like close out the other stuff we were talking about, it's
Yeah,
just like yeah, it's and to sum it up, it's like yeah, it's hard to give somebody your everything. Like, and you don't have to be like people. You don't have to be in a relationship to love.
yeah.
That's what you don't love. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be this
You
set
can
thing. It
have
has
love
to
for
be a
somebody but not be romantic.
yeah. It's like that. That's the ultimate investment because love is just about who you give your trust to and
Mhm.
who you trust with your heart enough because it got for me it got to a point where like I didn't want
Mhm.
any like I didn't want to be in anything. I didn't want to be in a relationship. I didn't want like I was just a cold corpse at one point.
All right, Julian
Like
says, I was about to give you a challenge, but it's kind of crazy. Oh, let's hear it, because.
yeah, good.
But in the meantime, Davis, you can finish out your thought. Go ahead. Sorry for
But yeah,
interrupting.
yeah. I mean, shit. I was like, yeah, yeah. So, like, but yeah, I was just saying, like, yeah, it's hard to give people your everything because, like, once you give that much, like I said, I've seen people who like gave their all people, and I like when their heart is broken, you can
Yep.
see that shit. It's like it
Well, and it gets
hurt.
hard to trust somebody again to dish out that
Yeah,
same
like
love.
it takes time to heal from it. I didn't like yeah until I met my wife. Like yeah, like
Mhm.
that's what opened my heart again.
Mhm.
Because I even told her that. I told her like you opened my heart again to feel those things because I didn't want it
Right.
anymore. I didn't at one point I didn't want it anymore.
You were ready to safeguard it and just say fuck it.
Like I just like if I don't want to feel this no more. If I got to be alone for the rest of my life, I'm willing to do that. Like that's
Right.
how bad it was. Like I just didn't like yeah. Like I didn't see it happening. I didn't see any love developing in my life like that. Like
Mhm.
I just didn't see it in the order that I wanted. And it's like even during that time, people thought I may have liked them. I'm like yeah, I thought like that person may have been attractive, but like I didn't. I wasn't in love with that person. Well, yeah, I wasn't in love with that person. I didn't want anything from those people because it's just like, yeah, but like, yeah. So it's just one of those things where, like, yeah, once your heart will heal
Mhm.
if you ever been in or something where you just felt like you invested so much in yourself into,
Right.
don't think you can't love again because like that feeling is just it's permanent. But like somebody will come along that's gonna open your heart again.
I agree. I agree. Because a lot of times we can become content in being by ourselves. Once you've been hurt, you're so content of just being alone, just to not deal with it again. So it's like sometimes you just have to. I don't know. It's if it's right, it's right. If it comes along and you just, it makes sense. It's hard to explain.
Mhm. It just makes sense.
Julian says it's turning yourself into a guy using anything you have, clothes, makeup, hats, then continue on streaming like that and see people's reaction while being in character. I mean, I could possibly do that for a future stream because all my makeup's over there near my desk,
Over there.
and my closet's over there,
Over there.
over there and over there.
Noted and noted.
Well, it's funny because one person, we don't say their name anymore because um, they've always wanted like a tour of my freaking room, and I'm like, bro, oh, it worked. I'm gonna have to move that
All
up.
right, so this is MTV cribs. All right, let me show you in my crib. At I so this is my bed. This is where the magic doesn't happen.
Just a good
You
night's sleep.
start crying on stream like nothing happens.
Just an ugly cry. Just have to
Why
end the
did you have
stream.
to bring this up? You made me cry. And like, all right. And then you're like, all right, this is the refrigerator. It's just goddamn, I gotta get some new milk. I gotta get some new milk. Okay, it's spoiled.
Oh my
Okay.
god. Like, this is what they want. Like last time they asked me like for a room tour, I was like, "Well, here's my windows. There's the
All right.
TV that I'm streaming on that I can see myself from. There's the bed. Wait, hold on. There's the bed. That doesn't look right.
Okay, this is
There's the wait.
me,
There's the
and
bed.
this is. my background.
There's a table over there. There's my desk.
There's a table behind me.
There's a door.
There's the door. And here's the off button to my stream because you can't mind your fucking business.
Ah!
Ah, you
I'm
can't mind
like,
your fucking
dude,
business.
it's nothing really fancy, honestly. Like, I was just like, do you want to see an action figure collection that's, just sitting here taking up a
Wait,
table?
wait, wait, wait,
Um,
wait, 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 wait,
what?
wait.
Oh, God.
You want to see my battle cat collection? Fucking alien
I'm
big
sorry.
ass.
If y'all don't know what that's from, go watch Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser. Oh, my God.
You want to see my battle cat collection?
Damn the devil. Damn the devil to hell.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh,
shit.
oh. He said you gave me a teeny winky.
I love that. I love that so much. Hold on. Do I have a
That's
notification?
it. I gotta get dressed first. She's just sitting there waiting for it to get whipped out.
Oh, my
And she
God.
said, "Oh, oh my." I was like, I didn't know. I thought like it was like maybe like she blessed him. I thought she blessed him, and then he looked down and just said, "Oh no,
Just very.
oh, oh, he got a little dick. Oh no." I
Poor
knew that
thing.
instantly. Oh, and he's like, "Oh, you
Well,
gave
it's
him a
just like
little
she gave him
dick."
everything he wanted. Everything. Like, he was perfect.
Everything, and she always get a fine print or something like you fucked so much of his wish up so you get his soul.
And the worst part, like, it turns out towards the end, like, she's not even the devil. Like, she was just, like, an angel that was testing him or some shit. And, ugh.
Oh no, I thought she was a full on devil.
I don't know. No, 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 no. Because at the end, there's
Oh.
one other guy, I think, that's also does a similar thing. And I believe, yeah, she's not even
Oh,
Lucifer. She's like an angel or something
one
that was
way or
testing
another,
him.
I will get your soul.
Yeah, I forget
It's
exactly,
not.
but I think if we watch, I'm
So
gonna have
she
to
did
watch it
all
again.
that just to test him, like, okay, to see, like,
How
are you really trying
humanity,
to give?
yeah. I
One
would
way
have
or
to look it
another, I
up.
will have your soul.
I'm gonna look it up, but I'm pretty sure at the end she's technically an angel and not actually Lucifer. It was all a test to see if he would like use his final wish a certain
Yeah,
way.
like all of it was all of it. She like Elliot. It was a test.
And it was just like if he would use his wish to make somebody else happy. It was
And he's
just for
like, yeah.
love. Yeah,
I
it's
realized like she's not the only fucking girl in the world, dude. Like,
yeah. I think that was the case. I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. We love movies here, so if anybody wants
what?
to know, we. Mm.
What the heck? And Krista the barista. Put it on my account. And don't forget to put a white chip Mizak cookie on the side, too. Cool, player.
Oh my god, I love that movie. You
Cool,
sent me that.
player.
I'm like, what the fuck's going on right now?
Cool,
That
player.
is, in case anybody's wondering, what he just quoted was from Malibu's Most Wanted. Mm, Jamie Kennedy.
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
I heard you dropping balls when you was in here. Oh, you heard that? Yeah. It's my album right here. Malibu Tang.
Yeah, I'm looking at the thing right now.
Yeah, I remember he was sitting in the cell. I thought the black dude was like the angel he was sitting in the
See, I'm
cell
not
talking to.
sure. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how it was, but I could be wrong.
Like he was telling like his soul, like your soul belongs to God.
Yes, Allison, huh?
He said, "What was the first wish? The McDonald's. That was a
I mean,
test.
hypothetically, she could still technically be the devil, and that it was, God and the devil
Well,
kind
the
of.
devil ain't nothing but the angel of death. Like like
Because she advises them that heaven and hell can be found on earth, and then it's up to humans to
right.
choose.
That's what I'm saying. Like. I mean, if you look at the biblicals, like the devil was an angel. He was just the angel of death.
Yeah, I'm looking to see, because if they have the other guy listed. Because wasn't it, wait, it was, I don't know, I'll have to rewatch the movie, but such a
I
good
know you get
movie.
it. I know.
2000. Oh, they were cranking out good movies back then.
Oh my god, from 2000 into like 2010, like yeah, good quality movies.
Nowadays, it's like rinse, repeat, honestly.
Rinse, repeat, and do it
Granted,
again.
Bedazzled was a remake of like one, I think, from like the
With a more
1960s.
comical version of it,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And we stand Brendan Fraser in this stream. Oh my god. He is a sweetheart. He deserves the best.
You know, how dare they blackball him?
Well, considering all the trauma he went through, I feel so bad for him. But apparently, he had a recent interview where somebody had told him that TikTok and everybody on the internet's rooting for him. And he cried. Like, he was like, oh, he was overwhelmed with emotion. He was just like so appreciative
It's
of
like,
it.
how dare you do a modern day mummy movie without him in it? Like, that's
Right?
the guy who started this shit.
Once it's tried to change the whole vibe of it, like make it more suspense, I guess, horror type. I don't know. I didn't even watch
Well,
it.
that's what it was with him too. It's just like that's what I'm
But
saying. Like
like,
people just like, wait, you can't do
but like there was,
anything with this franchise without him being in it. Like that's what this
yeah.
generation is kind of fucking up on is that like
But there was also like
like
this
they don't
comedy
know how to
factor of it.
respect the people before it. Like
Yeah.
everything got to be revamped to what they like.
Right.
No, you want something new, make it yourself. But like all everything in this generation is like rinse and repeat times 12.
Oh my god, it's getting
TikTok. How
old.
people get TikTok famous for doing voiceovers of fucking scenes from movies or music or whatever.
Right?
Like yeah, like no talent went so fucking ever, but you're doing your TikTok. You're TikTok famous
TikTok.
for not having any talent. Even the music, even like what was I watching? It was watching I was watching something on Instagram where it was like before that XX at rapper had died
Mhm.
like a couple years ago.
Mhm.
Um, like his music was like hardcore for live performances. Like you listen to it, it's not really worth a shit, but it's like in
Right.
live performance, it's like raw, heavy metal move. Now you got this one rapper where she got famous off of TikTok, and
Mhm.
like the music is like sound like a intro to the Rugrats or some shit, like ding 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 ding, and they be and them performers they really be like turning up to that shit. They be like, yeah 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 yeah. I say with it, I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? What kind of song is this? You can't turn up to this shit. So, but yeah, but it's just like it's like I said, like it's you get almost famous off of anything now
Yeah.
if that's what you want to do.
You really could.
You can get like yeah, like yeah, like you can't do it. I mean, like yeah, like
A lot of time it just becomes like this popularity contest. It's so stupid. Like you could do
it's like
the
yeah.
bare
Now it's
minimum
about like yeah. Now like everybody wants to be TikTok famous and it's like that. Like I don't want to be
because the hope
social
is that
media
they'll
famous.
get brand deals. They won't have to work a hard job. They won't have to do all that. And it's like they think,
But you gotta like yeah, but you gonna have to work your ass off one way or another because you gotta keep that content up once you get them the deals. You
well, that, and
forget.
then you have to
Yeah, the
think about
easy
branching
part is
out.
just up. Yeah, the easy part is uploading, finding something and uploading it, and then getting the people. Now you got a fan base you got to satisfy. Like,
Right.
yeah, you could get famous off of playing. I'd rather get famous off of playing video games.
Yeah.
Like, I even like, yeah, like this is one dude I watch on YouTube. He does a lot of like
Mhm.
um video game mixes. Like he you don't like you know who he is, but he don't really show his face or anything like that. Like he does a lot of like mixtape intros, things like that. Like he does like other like music and stuff like that for other YouTubers.
Mhm.
He got famous. See, if I did, I know how to get like that kind of famous. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I just upload my videos of like me and my friend playing Red Dead and put some
Yeah.
music behind it or something. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah.
Well, and then it also gets dicey because with so many restrictions nowadays compared to what it was years ago, like having certain music in your background gets you, a copyright, or it just doesn't make your shit, go into the algorithm. You know what I mean? So it's 10 times harder than what it was. And like the whole plan, like when I started streaming, it wasn't anything to like get famous or anything like that or get big or whatever. It was just something to fill my free time and just do something fun and, be a little less antisocial during a pandemic. You know what I mean? It's just maybe. But like people just think it's that easy. It is what it is. But like I can upload my streams all day long to YouTube. It doesn't really matter unless it catches an algorithm. And it's not like I have a big following anywhere, so it's not like a whole, you know what I mean? But then
Yeah.
it also becomes like a popularity contest. It's a matter what you look like, what are you
How
showing,
you
what are you
do? Like,
doing
yeah,
this,
like
and it's
what are
like,
you showing? Like, yeah, like okay, if you are a female that likes to show innocent amount of Cleveland, you know what I'm saying? Like some cool outfits and stuff like that. Before you know it, ain't gonna be too long. Somebody asking you take your damn clothes off. Like, goddamn.
I, I can attest to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I know.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like that's the thing. As a female, it becomes show me your body, show me this, and it's just like whether
How much
it's
are you willing to show? Like before you know it, you can start off as just a innocent cosplay person. Like you like to dress up as Diva, Diva. Well, I think it's Diva from what's that one game?
uh
Overwatch.
okay, okay,
Overwatch.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Overwatch. You can dress up her, and before you know it, no, don't wear the outfit. Paint it on you with your
No,
boobs like,
or wear
like
the
it.
sluttiest version of that.
Yeah, or what? Like, what? How slutty can you give it the outfit? All right, so you're a nun. Now you're gonna be like, when
A
did?
sexy
See, this is
nun.
my thing too. I know, like it started out as a nun outfit, and now they got sexy nun outfit. I know nuns are just like you disrespectful
Mm-hmm.
bitches.
That's one
There
thing
is
I don't
this
touch.
is
Nope.
not sex. This is
I'm
God.
I'm not getting smited over here. No, I'm good. I got no, thank you. I don't need the Lord against me. That's the thing. Like for me, whether it's streaming or YouTube or whatever, it didn't happen so much on YouTube, but like as I uploaded over the years, it became a thing where people like, oh, do this particular thing, so we would push your cleavage together and da 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 da, and it's like you do realize there's porn like free out there. You know what I mean? Like,
Word.
and it becomes a regular thing now where it's like, you know, I wear what I wear just because I'm comfortable. So just because I'm wearing a tank top right now, I have like, okay, here's a tank top. I'm wearing a sweater over top of it because I don't need my shoulders and all that out and all that in case it gets cold in here because the AC. But like, I'm wearing it because it's comfortable, not because I'm trying to show you my tits. It's just not. It's not my thing here. Uh, they're out because that's just how they work. Okay, I have boobies. I'm sorry. That's just
See,
anatomy.
like honestly, they're so my. This is how I feel.
Mhm.
This is my opinion.
Mhm.
Your boobs are like so fucking big, you don't even have to pull them out because I
Mhm.
can use my imagination. You're a white
No.
girl, so your nipples are only one color. So, retrospectively, you don't have to pull them out.
But that's the thing. It's like whether it's Tumblr, not so much on Twitter. Twitter people don't really bother me that much with this, but like Tumblr, Snap,
Man, you know how
Instagram,
much fucking free porn is on fucking Twitter? Shit, I
right?
follow a couple porn sites on Twitter.
I see what you like sometimes, so it's like,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but like
Yeah.
Instagram, those are like hotspots of like people like, show me your tits, show me your body, show me this, show me that. I don't even know who the fuck you are. First off, it's a never ending thing. It's just because there's a photo with my cleavage in it doesn't mean I'm gonna show you the whole goodies. Okay, it's just not how it works. And it doesn't mean just because I have these photos where I look cute or I look sexy or whatever, doesn't mean that I want you to be my daddy or I want to be your sub or anything like that. So it's just like, y'all need to get it together, okay? Learn how to talk
Man,
to females.
it's funny I got to have a real deep conversation with my homie because we was even talking about like
Mm-hmm.
okay, and I know you can contest this because you like ill know probably too.
Okay.
Like um, me and my boy, we like it wasn't like this for me, but I didn't mean to do it. But like
Mm-hmm.
getting your girl to call you daddy, like I didn't even mean to say it. It just came out.
Yeah.
And like she said, "Ill, don't tell me to call you that again." And I'm like, wait, I didn't even remember what I asked because I was just kind of just talking.
Right.
Like, oh shit, I didn't even mean to say that to you to be real. And then he tried to say that to his girlfriend at the time, and he was like, she's like, oh, don't ever say that again.
It's a weird, it's a line. That's the thing. Everyone's different, obviously. Um, it's not usually my go-to, obviously. Everyone's different. It's whatever your partner is comfortable with you calling them or
I
saying.
have a lot of other nicknames my wife can call me. I never
Okay.
would make her do that. Like I'm not a monster. I'm like, no, you don't. You can scream like other things
Right.
if you need to, you know.
It can feel a little foreign and a little weird, and I'm not saying it's weird, honestly. Like, it's, you do what you're going to do in your bedroom, obviously.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like,
um
no, I didn't like. And I was just talking to mine just casually, like, oh, you gonna miss me? You gonna miss your big daddy? And I was just like, just talking.
yeah.
And then she was like, she paused for a second, and like I didn't, she didn't say anything. I kind of whatever, doing whatever, and then she said something. Finally, she just
Yeah, that made
don't
me
say that to
uncomfortable.
me, because she was so just like thinking about it. Like when she said it in her head, she only one person comes up as that's her dad, like in her mind.
Yeah, yeah. In her brain, she's like, she can't.
And I know,
Like,
I
and that's
know.
the thing. That's why a lot of people have a problem. Like, it just goes across cultures as well. Because, like, there's even a thing with papi, saying papi, saying that people are like, too many people try to sexualize that, and a lot of people in the Hispanic culture are like, no, 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 don't sexualize my culture that way. Don't do that, because it's an
Right.
endearing term. So I understand, because this was a whole argument on Tumblr and like fan fiction and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I get it. But it's all everybody's personal preference. Like, I'll say things jokingly and just see where it goes. Like, I jokingly, okay, this is like an inside joke, but I'll say like choke daddy,
Oh my god.
or I'll just yell like that. It's just a joking around. It's
Oh,
not
daddy.
not like sexually. It's just like choke daddy, choke daddy. But like, I'm more of a person to be like, if you're going to go into the terms of like a dominant submissive situation, then like a sir will do. You know what I mean? You don't have to constantly be daddy. You know what I mean? It is what it is. People can be a little weird about that, but you know, me, I don't necessarily really care what I'm called. Honestly, just don't get too weird with it. You know what I mean? Um,
Exactly.
there's the go-tos. There's babe. There's baby. There's, whatever pet name. And then there's lines that you can cross, whether it escalates. So if you're getting into like the naughtier terms of like slut, whore, blah blah blah, that's to be talked over with your partner or whoever you're banging at the
Yeah,
time.
it's like, yeah,
Okay.
like I can ask probably 1,000 girls that I know, like, then they probably all say, yeah, probably, unless they got their father in there. If they have
Hmm.
their father in their life, then they'll probably find it weird. Now, the ones who like to say it are ones who have extreme daddy issues and they live with, and they don't know their father, so they don't have
My
anybody
daddy
to
never loved
connect to
me.
that title. Huh?
My daddy never loved me.
Right. So they don't have anybody to
Yeah.
connect to that picture anyway.
Yeah. So
Like, but since
it's
my wife has her father in her life,
yeah.
she has somebody to connect that title to
Well,
already.
and your wife is like a different breed, obviously, in a sense, like
Oh,
compared to
absolutely.
how we are. Like, she finds things a little more vulgar than what
She
we do.
don't do she don't do everything I do, and I don't have a problem with that. Like I
Hmm.
don't expect you to have the same interests. Like yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like if you don't do it, it's not your thing. All right, we'll just have
So be it.
understanding for it. It's our conversation.
Yeah. I agree. I
Because
totally
like I
agree.
need to do these things because this is what I like to do, and since you don't do it at all, like it's gonna be kind of hard to bond in that area. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, like if you play it, it would be so much easier. I even told her it would be so much easier if you
Well,
play video games because you can just join on in.
that's the thing. Then you wouldn't have to constantly
Like,
explain something to her while, like, because we've been gaming before, and like she'll ask you a question about it, and like you'll answer, and like sometimes she'll like forget like 5-10 minutes later, and then you have to explain it again, and it's just like, it'd be
so like
easier
yeah,
if you just
she,
join.
but it's like like for her, it's still she's trying like my,
Yeah.
she's like a computer. She's trying to process what's fun about this.
It's still very
Because
foreign to
like in
her.
my mind, this is like the shit, but in hers, this might not
Well,
be anything.
just from my experience with her, it seems she's more like textbook, very. She's a bookie kind of
Very
person. She's
textbook,
very.
very very career oriented,
Yeah.
driven. Like she doesn't really have any outside addictions. Like yeah,
Yeah.
like anything she can do to like pass the time and do other things. Like I have my
Hmm.
things when I'm not in school or work or whatever like that. I have my ways of entertainment. This is what
Yeah.
I work hard for, so I can have these luxuries to enjoy.
Yeah. It's a way for you to
Like yeah, like
decompress. That way you don't lose your shit and like
I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about my internet being taken off. I don't have to worry about my shit getting pawned anymore. I don't have to worry about giving fucking plasma for fucking money.
Yeah. I remember those days. I remember
Oh
that.
boy, what?
I remember. I remember when you tell me we were gonna go do that on multiple occasions. I'm like,
Like, oh man, I got tired of it fast, like
mm-hmm.
fast. Like my peoples was already doing it prior to me, and then when it was time for me to start going, I just couldn't do it no more. I'm like,
Eventually you get burnt out and you're just over it.
I can't keep coming up here and then coming up here for only like $100. You know what I'm saying? I know
Mm-hmm.
people out there probably like 100. Shit, they only give 50 where I'm at. I've heard that from people. I
Yeah.
remember when I first got to my college campus, I had some friends that lived on my dorm floor. They would go up to this local plasma place and they would go up there for $75. I
Yep.
said 75. Shit, they was giving 100 back where I was for the first few visits.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the area that you live in and how desperate they are for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because like yeah, where I stayed at was the small town of that area, but it's
Right.
bigger than that. It's bigger than this place,
And
and they like yeah, they gave 100 off your first 5 visits, and then after that it goes down to 75. Then after that it go down to 60. Then it go down to 50. Then before you know it, you're only getting $20 a visit.
right. They try to lure you in. That's what they want. They was like,
Like
okay,
yeah,
get a little
like I said,
taste.
like so by this point you've gave so much plasma to save whoever's dying.
And I mean, like, anyone who wants to go out and donate, whether it's for the money or not, go ahead and do it.
Go
Because
do your thing.
if you're
But
healthy
like for
enough,
the
do
reason what
it.
I was doing it for, I got burnt out. Like I'm
Hmm.
doing this for the last $100 of our rent, or
It wasn't
hundred
so
dollars
much.
short. Yeah, $100 short on the light bill or internet bill or whatever. You know, this is all I could do at the
Right.
time.
And it wasn't so much for, like, just the kindness out of your heart. It was just, I have to do this to make ends meet, pretty
It's like
much.
yeah, like I didn't have a job, I wasn't in school, I didn't have anything going. So like yeah, I had to
Right.
do what I had to do just to keep the gaming going.
But yeah, so word out to the people out there. If you can donate, please go donate. Blood, plasma, whatever. Uh, they test all that stuff anyways just to make sure everything's clean and good to go, because it helps people like my grandmother who has to get plasma every so often. So, or people that do have various blood conditions that they need to refill up every so often. So go do that. It's one of the greatest things you can do. It's not hard to really do. It's just a matter how long you can sit there and take it. That's the thing. Because I think a lot go on based on how much you can fill up a bag or some shit like that. And then I think the time difference between plasma and blood draw in general. But yeah,
Yeah, like isn't that like yeah,
like
like
I totally get that. But
it's just for crazy. Like I just sit back and think. I tell everybody what like bro when I was not like I was even that's what I was even talking to my friend about. I said like yeah like once I finally got a chance to really make some stuff in my life happen again. Once I
mm-hmm.
got my second opportunity, I did not waste a thing.
Yeah,
Hell, my family look at me now. They like, damn,
making it
this
work.
man like moved to this small town and you know what I'm saying and made everything happen you can actually ask for.
And that's the thing. You had to get away from where you were at. That was the main
Yeah,
thing.
once you remove yourself from your environment, it really does happen like that. It really
Hmm.
like cause you ain't got shit to when you ain't got nothing to lose and shit. Why not gamble? You know,
Well, and
why not gamble and go for it? You
that's the
know,
thing. You got lucky that you did have family where you were, where you're at now in sense. So it was like,
it's like everybody's doing their own thing. You can see from the outside, you're like, yes, this person is held back because of their own lane. You
hmm
know, this person is in their own way, or this person like yeah. Once you see that like when people separate from other people, you can like they start to
yeah.
really grow.
And that's the thing. It's everyone's
Like me
circumstances
and
are
my I
different.
even me yeah, me and my mom had that conversation. Like at the time we were too reliant on each other.
Yeah.
Like we were in two different but I needed to get out and grow and she was trying to survive.
Well, that's the thing. You
Like I'm not
guys, you were dependent on each other, and the fact was, is like you wanted to be there for your mom, obviously, because who else is
well
gonna
yeah, I
do
mean
it?
I want us to have like and that's any young boy, the kid I'm mentoring who's like my closest friend right now too,
Mhm.
like his situation is very similar to mine. Like
Mhm.
he wanna make everything happen with his mom. He doesn't want to leave his mom behind, but at the same time, gone to different places in your life.
I mean, that's very relatable because for me, I'm all about my family and anything I can do to help my family and keep my family, solid because that's all I have, really. That's all
That's all.
my family's all I
That's
got.
all we got. That's all you want. Like you don't want to leave nobody behind, but a lot of times,
That's what you have to do. In some cases, you have to just ditch them and sink or swim,
yeah, like
basically.
yeah, and it's like yeah, like
Oh, and it also depends on the
and I when I
toxic
tell
scenario
people like
around
no,
it.
I didn't leave. I didn't leave because I was tired of the person. I left because that person wasn't trying to go.
Oh, yeah. Well, and to think
Like
about
me
it
and my
now,
mom both had opportunity to get here. We hadn't.
yeah,
I said, Mom, let's go.
it just took her a
Let's
little bit
take this
longer.
car. Let's take this car we got while we got it.
Hmm.
Drive to fucking Oklahoma. What the fuck else we got out
She
here?
needed to get rid of the dude that was with her, honestly. That
Yeah,
was
at the time, yeah, at the time, yeah.
because that was a bad situation for her, and it was just bringing her down. So it was like you needed to leave for her to be able to eventually come into her own and be like,
Right. She
okay,
needed to like, yeah.
I
She
need to
was
do what I
not
need to
gonna
do.
snap out of her. She was not gonna snap out of her situation no time soon.
Yeah.
And then like once she did finally separate and left, once
Hmm.
she ended up going, she didn't come to Oklahoma because she's still stubborn on coming out here. Like everybody think the word Oklahoma and think the most cliche fucking thing you can think of.
Small
Like there's
town, yeah.
small town, like there's not a black person around. Like this ain't Indiana, motherfucker. Like it's shit. It's a small part. I call it a small part of Texas. It's just
Hmm.
a small part of Texas.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Oklahoma and Texas are the same fucking thing. One like only difference is the teams.
Hmm.
One like the Sooners, the others like the University of Texas or Texas A&M or Texas Tech. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your preference is. Shit. It's just what it is what it is. Like yeah, like it's just a small part now. Like and like I was like, it's not what you think, dude. I've been out here for almost 4 years, like going on 4 years. Like yeah, there's jobs laying around, dude. More so,
They
like
just get the idea of it's a small town that there's nothing there and it's a dead
yeah,
zone.
like you got everything. They got restaurants like the ones you would see in Georgia.
Yeah.
You got restaurants. You got movie theaters. You got everything. You got malls. You got everything.
I mean, there's some towns that, yeah, there's not much there and you're just kind of stuck and you have to deal with whatever,
And that's
you
where
know.
my grandmother. And that's where my grandma. She stay in a small town like that. And the only place they got to associate their mind with the state of is where my grandmother stay.
Hmm.
And that's just the tip of the fucking iceberg. That's not all towns. That's
Yeah.
not even on the map. It's not even on the damn map. If you look, it's got to look really fucking close to the map to find it. That's how small it is.
That's craziness, honestly.
Like yeah, and it's like, but like where I stay at, it's not too far out of the big city.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you're not that far out of anywhere in Texas. Like in 3 hours, I can be in Dallas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, and in 4 hours, I can be here. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, like in Texas, like I can be X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like if I want to go somewhere different, like I can go to another place. Like,
That's true.
like you know what I'm saying? But
You don't have to
I,
stay.
yeah, like yeah, especially like yeah, like out here you save so much money
Hmm.
because it's not a big tourist attraction.
Yeah. It's when they start building up those areas, then it becomes a problem. Like getting
Right, and
crazy
once
with it.
they start, now is the time to get in
Hmm.
while they're not making
Well, and
money.
that's where it comes down to the government actually doing a rent cap and doing a mortgage cap where they can't like get crazy with it, especially if they're not going to raise the cost of living or give people, a living wage. Then, bitch, you can't keep raising the damn rent on me. Like shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like get in while you can now. That way you got a solid base.
Yeah.
Because me and my wife, we're gonna try to go like once we finish school and stuff, we're gonna try to go for a starter home.
Yeah.
Like yeah, we're gonna try. Like yeah, it may not happen right away, but we're gonna try while the market is still low. Like
Get something that's not
so
going to
that
take a
way
lot of work
we got
and
our shit. Exactly. So we got our shit. So whatever ever happens up, we got our home.
well, and then
You
in a
know.
few years if you want to sell it and Move on, then so
Sell
be
it
it.
and then sell it and then take whatever other money we got and put towards a new home. We can do that.
Mhm. I agree.
Like yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like yeah, we got but yeah, the goal is like yeah, get in while we can now.
And work up.
Work your way up.
Yeah.
Work your way up, and before you know, we got a bigger house. You know,
That's
like
the thing. You never know what the
she
future
like
holds.
the wife is such a cheapskate. She don't see the like. She said, well, you know, why you want such a big house? Like I'm, like, I mean, I want a decent size house. Like
It doesn't need to be
whatever my money
huge,
can get me.
but you want
Whatever.
something
If
that you
I'm
can
a
afford
millionaire,
and that you're not going to have to switch out within a year or two if like you had kids or whatever. It's just
yeah.
like,
Like the homes I look at just for the fun of it, like these are homes I just look at. If I was a millionaire, this ain't gonna feel like shit. Like,
all right, right.
like yeah, like if you're a guy who makes $500 million or something like that, and you buy a house for $1 million, that ain't even a third of what you make.
Right. I agree.
That's like yeah, you need another $499 to even get a house that's up to your pay grade.
Yeah. But that's the
Like
thing.
yeah, so like yeah, if I could, yeah, but if I had 500 million or $100 million, buying a $5 million home straight up
Mhm.
ain't gonna feel like shit.
Right.
It ain't gonna feel like shit. It's gonna be like if I had 100,000 and I bought a crib that was for 30,000 or
Mhm.
something like that. You know, that's not gonna really feel like nothing because I got 70 more thousand to put towards renovations and whatever
Mhm.
like that to make this a real home.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, so like
It's all about
long
being smart with
term,
the
like
money.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like she's smart with money and I'm smart with money. So we whatever home we get, we gonna have a lot of money to put towards it because she don't spend like that and I don't spend
Yeah,
crazy.
she just has to understand the
I'm more
reason about
looser on
what type of house you're going for the reasons because like obviously you don't want something that you have to constantly like fix a bunch of shit on right away,
well,
but you also want enough room for when if your family expands, whatever, for whatever meets your purposes, whether you need an office, whatever, a studio for her, whatever. You know what I mean?
that's the kind of house I'm looking at. Like I got me a little mini office to write in or whatever I want to do, and then a nice big room for her to paint in. Like
Right.
and then the kid, if we have a kid, whenever,
Mhm.
if we have a kid in the mix of it, whatever like that, we not gonna need more space for a while.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. It's like not having to like move right away after you just got that place. You know what I mean?
Kids and a teenager, we probably have to upgrade in space or something like that,
Right.
you know, or change things around if we
Right.
do.
I
But
agree.
like, I want to get the house that we're gonna need regardless. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, okay, if we're talking about having kids and dogs and pets and stuff like that, I would rather just go ahead and buy
Yeah.
the big house we can stay in for the next 20 something years.
Because there's no point of wasting that money on rent because you're not investing in anything. Yeah, you don't have
I'm
to pay
sorry,
for
because
repairs, but
the
then
minute you can't pay the rent, you can't pay the
you're
rent.
yeah, if you can't pay rent, you're out. So it's like, and then if you have too many people, there's noise complaints, something happens to the apartment. Um, there's a number of things. Like then if you have a pet, you're paying extra fees to have that pet in there. It's ridiculousness.
Exactly. There's not no point. Long term, there's not a point.
Yeah.
But that's not her fault. Like that's not her fault that she doesn't see my vision on those things right away. Like yeah, like my vision
Mhm.
now just seems fucking far fetched because it's like, well, like we're still in the dorm and apartment stages.
Yeah.
She's not seeing the big long. I'm
She doesn't
looking
understand it
10
yet.
moves ahead. Yeah, like I'm looking 10 moves ahead and saying, no, I'd rather do this now. I'd
Mhm.
rather save up and get the house that I want now
Yeah.
than slowly. If I can save up the money and whatever like that, or work my ass off to get what I want, like because I have a pretty good track record with. Once I say I want this particular thing, even when I was broke, I always come up with it somehow.
Mhm.
Like I said, I want an iPad. I mean, I had an iPad. So
Right.
it's just like,
It's just a matter of time.
cause it's just a matter of time before I'm gonna have it. I said I'm gonna have this Xbox One. I didn't get it the first year it came out, but I got it the next year.
Right.
And that next year went by real fast too. Like I got mine 24. My first Xbox One 2014. They came out 2013. Like because there was no games out for it then. So like yeah, most people like I want to hurry up and buy it, but there's no games to play. There's no games to play when the console first come out.
Right?
It sucks.
But yeah, it's
Yeah, like it's like the first come out. But yeah, like yeah, like but like we've had that conversation like when I was there where she was at
mhm,
last weekend. I was like, yeah, like I like talking about my next
the
move.
future and what we're gonna do and yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
my next move. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, yeah, like
Well, you want to plan it out
this is what
because
I planned.
you got to figure it out, and you don't want to wait till the last minute to start figuring things out. And that's what she has to get in the
Exactly.
mindset of. And then you got to think about putting money aside just for repairs or anything that might come along. It's just that's stuff you have
Yeah,
to
but
be
like, I want to just like, yeah, I want to get whenever we can. I want to hurry up and get into a nice house.
exactly. And
Get
I
into a
totally
nice
get it.
house. But she doesn't. But also too, she's conflicted on that part because um she's conflicted on that part because what's the word I'm looking for? um she doesn't see herself living in an area for an extreme amount of time because she comes from that background like too. Like I can understand, like I don't
Mm-hmm.
judge it because I didn't grow up in a neighborhood or something like that where you know what I'm saying like I was there for 20 years
It was just a constant move, move,
or
move,
I
move,
grew up
move.
this neighborhood like all my friends we all grew up here like you know
Right.
we didn't see people come and go. I yeah, generally yes I can't see it but I can see it because I'm going to get to the point where I'm tired of moving every damn time.
And that's what she has
I'm
to get
tired
into
of
as
changing
well.
apartment Yeah, I'm tired of changing apartment complex or changing cities. Like,
Because at some
you
point,
know,
there's going to come a city or a town or whatever that you're not going to be able to afford. And to keep constantly moving, that's a lot of expenses.
a lot
Moving
of
trucks,
sense is like Alex,
movers, you know.
like we had a big conversation about like if she got some opportunity in New York to go to like this master program she get or something
Mm-hmm.
like that if she got offered it. I said the realness of the situation what you're talking and then you like and she's saying she don't want to live in New York forever. She just wants to be there for the moment. I said now all right, realistically, I said
Mm-hmm.
realistically, if we can like if we don't have high paying jobs or something
It's
like
not going to
that
work.
going out there together, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like with the career I'm in right now in law enforcement, that sticks me in an area.
Yeah. And you
Cause
can't just
you
up and
just can't.
move.
It's not a. It's a job, but it's a career too. So you
Yeah.
can't just up and quit the police force and then
You would have
go to
to
another
then try to apply to someplace out there, and it would be a
and
whole.
retry out for them and meet their physical requirement. It's a
It's not a
little bit more
guarantee.
sensitive. Right,
Yeah.
it's a little bit more sensitive
And
because,
that's
like,
what.
yeah, by the time I get really on,
Mm-hmm.
like, because you got a whole year of basically like probation you're on a probational period,
Yeah.
so by the time you get out of the training phase it's your second year and that's when like she's talking about she want to leave around
And
that
that's the
time,
thing she
maybe
needs to
like a year or
realize
two.
is now that you're
We
married,
can't like yeah we can't bounce around, we can't bounce
mm-hmm,
around anymore.
she
We
ha-
like yeah,
that
if we
that's
go
the
to New
thing.
York, we're stuck there.
Yeah.
So I would have to just have a regular job, like
And
working for
it's
UPS or
expensive.
something.
Expensive. And
Yeah,
that's what she's not realizing. A small, tiny little apartment is like upwards of what, like
fucking
$1,200 for
like we were
something?
looking at that too. I said like, yeah, we
Like
can
a
fuck around and
shoebox.
take all our money and get out there, and we get trapped in paying these high ass bills
Yeah.
just to survive. Like we can get trapped with a $900 rent or something like that. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we have the
And
jobs to pay for it, but we're stuck.
especially
All our money is going into all of the bills.
and especially if it's like right in the city, that's a lot of money for a little shoebox. Like and if
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I was like yeah, like think lightly. Like there's other places that do that have high art communities, but we don't have to pay as much. I
right.
said, look, all the places I was looking at prior, I told all the places I was looking at getting going to when I was like before we even like got married or
Mhm.
date. Like I was talking about moving to Houston
Mhm.
or Arizona,
Mhm.
Scottsdale to be exact,
Yeah.
or Flagstaff.
Yeah.
And I said these places are good places because they got decent art, they got damn good art communities for her and everything like that. So I'm like, yeah, like it doesn't have to be New York. It
But
doesn't
she's
have to
not
be LA for me to be a film writer.
for me,
It's so
she's not thinking logically about the situation. You know what I mean? She wants to do what she
right
wants to
at
do.
first it was frustrating for both because I'm like yeah, I was like all right, but you also got to think
Mhm.
logically on this too, because that's not a realistic goal. You can't just say you're gonna live in New York for a few years because it just all depends.
Yeah, and
Like
you
if
can
it was
hope
just if
that
we were just by ourselves, then yes, that's
yes.
realistic. You can bounce out whenever,
Mhm.
get you a roommate or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
But since we're married, we're not in the
You
roommate
can't.
game no more. That automatically we're automatically disqualified from the roommate life.
Right.
So like our more it's more realistic for us to just take a vacation for the next few weeks in New York and you just try to make everything happen. You gotta happen in that time. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
all your art and everything like that.
That's the thing, and I get
Or
that
go
she's into
or
art,
move
but
somewhere. Yeah, or
it
move somewhere that's closer on the outside of New York. Like maybe like okay, let's
more the
go.
country
I don't
areas.
know. Yeah, like let's move to Maine or some shit. I don't know. Like and then we can just drive up to New York on the weekends or
But that's
something.
the
You
thing,
know?
like if you could live in upstate fucking Pennsylvania and you can get some things pretty cheap, but it's kind of dead up there. It's like a, you know, small
Right,
town
and
kind
it'd
of
be like
feel.
living out where we are right now. Like, yeah, like it's no better than like yeah. So we would, you know, what I'm saying it's no better than like yeah. So I say like yeah, let's stick to yeah.
Well, and
If
that's the
we
thing.
move to like Dallas or Houston or San Antonio, anywhere bigger than where we are right now.
Yeah.
Where we live at right now, the population is like either just under 100,000 or right there in like the 80,000 more. It's a small, it's pretty decently small
Yeah.
town.
Well, that's the
Pretty
thing.
decent. Well, I'll even say medium size. It's a medium size, small-ish town.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it used to be smaller when people grew up out here, but it's some real small areas. Not much
There's not
to
much
it.
going on.
It's a
Yeah.
real small military town. Like you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, like we move anywhere outside of where we stay at would pay
You need to be
more.
prepared
You
for
have
that.
more careers. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like yeah, you got more at your hands. So,
But
like
then
we just
that's
got
when
to
you have
think.
to set up a job in those places beforehand. You have to know that you're going to have it. Then you have to find a place to live, make sure you can afford it each month, and make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
I'm like
understand,
yeah,
like,
like
she's an
whatever,
artist, she
and
wants
I
to go
even
do this, but, like, just because you're an artist and you go to New York does not mean you're going to make it big going to New York to do
no,
it.
and she know that part. It's just like yeah, it's just getting like it's the part that like she doesn't see herself living in a big town like that. Like I said, if we go to this place, we're stuck there. Like I'm
Yeah.
just keeping it real. We're stuck there like for a
And
while.
that's,
We're
and
not
that's
gonna be able to move out. We probably won't be able to move away from there until you're about 30. You're
yeah.
7 years younger than me, so that's when I'm 37.
It's a lot of money that's going to go down the drain just
You know what I'm
because of it.
saying? Like, yeah, so like yeah, we can be fucked for there for the next 8 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Mhm.
know, like it's like yeah, it's like yeah, baby, but it's just not gonna happen like that.
Mhm.
If you move to a big city, you gotta pay big city money.
Yeah. And she's not getting that. Like, yes, you can have, whatever financial aid, whatever, pay for your apartments or whatever bullshit, but it
Oh yeah,
only
you'll
goes
be
so
fine
far.
if you get your college paid for. That helps us out a lot. But you're
But
gonna
if
have
that's
to
not the
like yeah,
case,
but eventually
then
you're gonna have to get a job. You go like yeah, not event like yeah, she has a teacher's aide job now, but like you're gonna have it's gonna be twice as hard for you too because you're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to go to school and work for your scholar. Like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like you do everything still. Now we gotta pay like you
And then
gotta
the,
work
and then it comes down
decent amount
to
of hours and stuff.
that she's not going to
Like
have,
yeah,
she
so like
can't constantly depend on, like, her parents or anything to, like, constantly,
yeah,
aid
because
when she needs it.
they stay in like a small town in like a fucking Idaho or some shit. Like you know what I'm
But
saying?
that's the
Like yeah,
thing.
like the dad makes a decent amount of money, but they getting ready
But
to like retire soon
yeah,
and
and you
shit like
can't
that too.
constantly
So
depend on them for money. So it's like she needs to get in the mindset of, like, yeah, okay,
well,
we can't.
she's
But I'm
not
just saying, in
dependent on her.
general, that's
Yeah.
what she needs to get into the mindset of, like, is this actually logical and how we can afford it? You know.
Like all right, the goal like yeah, it's like you just got to think about like all right, you got to think about like all right before we touch ground there. Like all right, can we survive? Like all right, how much is it going to take for us to live out there and survive?
And then it
Like
comes
you got
down
to start
to,
thinking survival. You can't
yeah.
just think this is what I have to do. Like I mean, yeah, like that's what you have to do. But also too, like
Mhm.
yeah, if we move to a big city in like Texas or something like that, you get the same benefits, the same everything. We get cheaper. Only here's the bit: we get cheaper marketing. We get
Mhm.
everything we need, but it's for a cheaper cost and
I
everything
agree.
like that.
Yeah,
So that's
it's
what I'm thinking. Like I'm thinking like yeah, like we can just move and then
it's
like I can have my career and your career and like we can have everything rolling
because
from
she has to
there.
give you a chance to work on your career. That's what's going to bring in money. So it's like,
Right. So like yeah,
It's all
like
a
because wherever I'm
compromise.
at, if I'm working in law enforcement for the next few years, like I'm stuck there. Like like by the time like I
It's
become a
yeah.
cop in these areas or
It's
whatever like
something that she
that,
has
like
to understand. Yeah.
I'm stuck in it for the next few years. So
Yeah.
I can't just up and leave.
Because you have to build yourself up. Because no place is just gonna
And
hire you
that's what
out right
happened.
away.
If you like exactly, and then like too, like that's what happened in Die Hard. If you look like with John and his wife, like he
Mhm.
was a New York police CEO, but she like some like marketing person in LA or something like that. Like her career so ahead, so she had to leave, but John couldn't just pack up and leave. Like
Yeah.
he's a police officer.
Well,
Like yeah, he's
it's
like
a
yeah,
whole
you
nother
can't just
play
pack up
ball
and go.
field when you're married. It's like you have to consider the other person. You know what I mean? It's you can't just make a
Like
rash
you have to
decision.
like yeah.
Like yeah, you can
Like
say,
if
"Oh, I'm
my
gonna apply
writing
for this,"
career
but
takes off, if my writing career takes off and I make some decent money doing it too,
mhm,
then I can move where the fuck I want.
right. But it's like not
They
like you're
move, I
saying,
can
"Oh, I'm gonna
live
move
and
directly to LA just because it's convenient for me." Da 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 da. You know what I mean?
yeah, I can just I can go. Like yeah, I'm rich. Shit, we can go.
But then again, you're
Like
married. You actually talk about it, go through all the shit for it, and da, da, da. You know what I mean? It's a battle of back and forth, pros and cons,
yeah. If we
and
like if we hit the lottery, then I'm like I ain't gonna trip about nothing else. Like, if I win 200 some million shit, I ain't worry about shit no more. I ain't even gonna be try to work. I'm just gonna be a meathead and go to the gym every day. It's just like all I gotta do is go to the gym. And my wife's an artist. You know
Lord,
why? Cause we're rich, bitch.
rich bitch. But I don't
I'm
know.
rich. Yeah, but that's
It's
how it be
crazy.
though.
I
It be
understand. I
like that.
understand. It can be like that. Like relationships are crazy like that, and you have to really learn to communicate with your partner a lot of time because you're not used to doing that. It's like I shouldn't have to ask permission to fucking go here, there, blah blah blah, blah. But when you have somebody or whether you're married, it's like you kind of have to consult them, even though you don't want to. It's like you have to. But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like yeah, like I've like in my I even had this conversation. My part of my reason with my career path is because I am married. Like I have to make sure we got money coming in too. Like we both can't be broke ass artists.
right. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. I
You can't
agree.
both be broke ass artists. Like yeah, so like this is something I don't mind doing to keep food on the table. It's
But at
damn good
some point,
money.
it's just got to be like there has to be that other person has to be bringing something in. You know what I mean? It's got to be
Right,
some
and
sort of
she
understanding.
got her money too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. She got
I'm
her
just
money, and
saying,
I was like,
in general, it's got to be
right,
some
right.
sort of.
Yeah, it's got to be equal. Like, and she's thinking about like she don't want me to put my career to the side for hers and then
Yeah.
like that. She says, well, like we can move somewhere where both our careers are going to happen at the same time. We've had that conversation too. I say it's like yeah, it's like yeah. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I
It's
just
gonna
want you
take
to
some
know,
time.
like yeah, that's all I wanted you to know. It's just like if I
It,
go for law enforcement, I'm
I have to
glued to that
be
career for a while. Like
in
I'm
that
glued to
spot.
this
Yeah.
shit.
Like right now, you're
Like yeah,
stuck in
I
your
can't
spot.
just transfer departments unless it's a unless it's
Hmm.
like the the departments are kind of similar to each other with a like like yeah so like if I've already been a cop for 10 years and I'm like hey I wanted to continue my police well, like what do I have to do to be on y'all force
Yeah.
I'm
You
still
would
an
have to reach
active
out.
police
Yeah.
officer. Yeah, like I still want to be an active police officer or even talk to the sheriff's department down that way. I'm like, oh yeah, son, yeah, shit.
It's a whole
Yeah, yeah,
process,
you're a
and you
sheriff.
just
You
got.
know, like you know everything. So like we can't train you on everything because you know everything
Well,
already.
and
You
that's the
just
thing.
gotta know
It's putting out the feelers for it, but then also with you knowing that it's not the guarantee that you're going to get it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm gonna put
exactly.
out
Like
feelers,
before
see.
we make that move, I gotta check. I gotta
Don't get the hopes
tap
up.
in with
That's
that.
basically what it is.
Exactly. I gotta tap in with this other place and see like, all right, well the San Antonio Police Department take me like, hey,
And
I've
then wait
been a
till they
police
give you an
officer.
offer. If they give you an
Yeah,
offer,
I've been a police.
boom.
Exactly. I've been a police officer here in Dallas for the last 15 years. I'm getting removed to San Antonio,
Hmm.
what's up?
Yeah,
Can I
yeah,
come
I
with
get
you?
it.
You know what I'm saying? And they're like, we really full staff right now. You would have to try out and go to the academy. I'm like, I'm not going to no motherfucking academy. And I've been a police officer for 15 fucking years.
And a lot of
Suck my
places
dick.
they make you do the academy, they make you do all of that stuff. It's just not easy peasy,
Like, bitch, I've been a police officer for 15 years. I will eat that fucking academy again,
And that's
bitch.
the
Like,
thing. It's
fuck.
like every state is different when it comes to that. So it's just like you kind of have to go with the
That's what I
flow.
was saying to her. It's like, because when we looked it up together,
Hmm.
It just depends. In layman's terms, it said that it
Yeah,
just
like
depends on the department.
for here, you have to do so many tests. You have to take a course, like the academy type style course, and that's X amount of hours, and you have to do a bunch of different stuff, whether it's physical or not.
Some police force, some police forces require you to be really good with computers,
Mm,
like really good, like hacker shit,
but
like they might be all digital. Like it's police departments. It's like oh, like we're mostly like the dispatcher and the police officer might be the same fucking thing. Like
mm-hmm.
oh, you got to respond to your own crimes. You don't got no dispatchers. You got to respond to all this shit. And I was like, damn, I couldn't do that. Fuck that.
Right.
Fuck my unit.
Well, some people aren't, computer friendly and stuff like that, and it's just like,
No, yeah, like some people require you to be really fucking good with
and then
computers,
there's
and
some jobs that shouldn't even make you use computers, really, because it's like, why? There's no really point to it, like.
like yeah, like
But I digress.
exactly, they might be asking you to be good at computers, but then you like, why?
Right?
Like,
Or they
why are
make you
you
take
asking me to be
tests that
good
have
at
nothing to
computers?
do
And
with
my
your
job has
job.
nothing to do with it. Yeah, exactly. You just want me to be good at computers?
Like, I
Like, I
can
don't
even say that.
understand.
Like,
Like,
the one job my dad had, he was like, he was supposed to be being a machine operator for a particular company. And instead, he wound up doing the vessels and cleaning those out and whatever, which is tough work because the chemical compound, like, stays in there really good. And
hmm
they would have you take tests so frequently. And those tests were like whether you would have a job or not, basically. And they were related to other processes like the fucking warehouse or deliveries and trucks and shit like that. And it's like, that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. And you had like two or three, I think it was three chances to pass said test. So you had to get a certain percentage to pass. And it was like, it has nothing to do with my job though. Like, the fuck?
word.
It was so dumb.
It's like it's so fucking just like, oh my god, like
This world makes
it's
no
just
sense.
so
It's
big.
just, ugh.
It's just so everything is just so fucking ridiculous. I swear,
They
like
have
it's.
to make you jump through hoops. And it's like, this is basic stuff. Like,
I
why?
wish it was. If it was that simple, I would just jump to this, to this.
Yep.
Like, but I even looked at a job working at the warehouses at the UPS, like, because at least I can transfer, to the next
Mm-hmm.
place.
But they always
I
put
said,
something
okay,
bullshit. And it's like, oh, you have to work, multiple shifts and do this. And like, sometimes you're not even getting the hours that you need with UPS to even justify it. Like,
word.
I don't know.
I mean, like, they pay decent money, but I can't live shit forever. I need to like have a career where I can like, you know what I'm saying, like where I can make some decent money and a decent retirement plan and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
agree.
like I got to start thinking about that now, so that way, in case something happens, like I'm covered for life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like my muscles aren't gonna be really strong. Like one day my muscles aren't gonna be so strong and
Well, and you
and,
want to
and
do
things
things that
like
are
that.
not going to like cause you to have like tendonitis or, carpal
Yeah,
tunnel or,
really
tear
bad
a
joints.
rotator
Like I
cuff.
gotta start. Yeah, I can't work at McDonald's forever. Like you know what I'm saying? Those places like that you get bad feet and clogs in your feet and shit like that for stand. Like yeah, like I gotta. I'm doing. I'm everything I'm doing right now is preparing me for when I'm 55 or 60, and it's time for
Mm-hmm.
me to like retire in life and shit. Like she like I think my wife asked me one time like what are you gonna what are you gonna do when you retire? I'm like I don't know, fucking relax. Like I ain't gotta do shit no more.
Right.
I
You'll
might
build up to
not
that
want to
point.
do that after years of doing this shit and working multiple jobs and
You want to be able to work
careers and
one and just kind of dwindle down and relax.
window down and kind of ride off into the sunset. Like I don't see myself like I don't see myself right now like I don't want to. I probably wouldn't want to have a job at 65 years old, but probably not. Like
Right. I agree. I agree.
you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, it's gonna get, and I'm gonna get to that point where
You physically
I don't want
can't.
to be old. I don't want to be in my 60s having to work. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that before. Like I still gotta work and stuff like that. I don't
Well, and it's
want
also a
that.
matter of when your Social Security benefits kick in. So it's like, you're kind of
I
fucked.
mean, I think it all kicks like most people kicks in at 55, like
Mm-mm.
retirement
That's
benefits
early
and shit like
retirement.
that.
And a
Yeah,
lot of time you take a cut if you do that.
yeah, exactly. Like yeah, 55 is start, but I think if you want the full benefits, you gotta like 60
I don't know. Like,
something. You gotta
everything's
retire.
very, you have to like look with like your Social Security sites and shit like that. But a lot of them, The only way to get like early benefits like Social Security is to get disability, and like you'd have to have some sort of life event to guarantee that, and it can be a hassle to even get it started. Some people do early around 59, I think, but then a lot of time you can use like your retirement, like your 401k. It's ridiculous, honestly. But a lot of time they want people to work in like 65 to 70, 75. It's like, how long do you think these motherfuckers are going to live for? No, you're just cheating people out of their benefits that they paid into. Like, damn. But I digress. Because I can go on a
It'd
tangent
be
of
like
how
that.
this government and everything
Oh,
fucks
I
people.
could go on fucking days on how this shit stuff. Like, but you know what, people, we appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, we've been
What do you
streaming
think
for a
is
while and shit. We could go on a tangent forever.
you can you know what I'm saying? Like, tell your friends, tell your friends, tell
Yeah,
your
tell your
friends.
friends.
Mm.
We're here.
Tell your friends.
No
Have
shame.
debates. That's what do you think, bitch, is about? It's about sparking those questions that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just in your brain that day and you thought of it 30 minutes before the stream.
Yeah.
But
And maybe next time we'll actually have a lineup of topics because usually we do, but well, sometimes we do.
this was a topic. Today was about relationships, retirement, life.
Life.
In life.
But yeah,
It's not about big breasted streamers.
no.
Okay. It's
And
not about
asking them if
black
they're gonna have
pictures of
OnlyFans.
cyborgs,
Shit.
right? It's not about a guy who doesn't show his face, he's just a picture of cyborg.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It is not about that at all. It's about growing.
Yeah.
It's about progression. And I'm being serious. It's about progression. And it's about not thinking like, people think I hate when people think they failed at a young age. Like
Mm-mm.
you didn't fail anything.
Life hands
That's
us all
one
different
like
circumstances, and it's just
it's no such thing as failure. It's either trying or not trying. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Like yeah, you you get like yeah, it may not be your ideal life, but you have a life. You are
Yes.
here. Go for it,
And
bro.
no one can
Like
judge you for
if
that.
you ain't got shit to lose, guess what? That's the best time where you don't have nothing
Yeah.
to lose. Sometimes the best thing to do is when you are the best things happen when you are backed into a corner
Mm-hmm.
and you feel like you're just there's no way out. You feel trapped. You just like that. That's your time to really start swinging for the fences. Cause what? Either way, like yeah. Well, guess what? You're fucked. If you're trapped in a corner against a lions, guess what? What you got to lose fighting? They gonna chomp your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Or you might actually get away.
Yeah.
Like that's how I go.
Take
You
it
know
and
what I'm
run
saying?
with
Like
it.
you just take it and run with it. Shit, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't
Get
let
out of
anybody
that
feel
lion's
bad.
den.
Don't let anybody make you feel bad from whatever place you are in your life currently, or
Cause
what's
like
led
it
you to
took me a
that.
long time. It took me a long time for it to really click. I was 26 when I came to college. I'm 29 now, about to be 30 at the end of the year. Like it's about climbing that mountain. And then like for people younger than me, feel like
Mm-hmm.
they, hey, I'm not going to nothing. I'm like, you only going to not achieve
You
nothing if
have
you don't try.
all your life to make something of
You
yourself.
got so much room. You got so much
It's just
room
like there was a
to
thing Judge
really
Judy said.
make a push.
It's like if you don't make it in your 20s, there's your 30s. If you don't make it in your 30s, there's your 40s. If you don't make it in your 40s, there's your 50s, and so on and so forth. You can make it at any time. It's just a matter of when it happens.
It's about when. Like yeah, I've seen people on Oprah's channel. Like I think this like famous cook lady. She has a restaurant. Her name is like Sweetie or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like in her fucking 50s when she started her restaurant. Like
That's the
that's
thing.
how it be.
At any point, it can happen for you.
Yeah, like,
So
and I
take
told my
that.
mom that like if you want to be a chef, you can be a chef. You can cook. You just gotta. It's just gonna take grind, man.
Yeah, take that
It's
advice
gonna take. You
and
gotta hustle. You
do with
gotta
it what you
want it.
want.
Just
Yeah,
like when you want it, when you wanted something when you were young, guess what? You went out and go got it. You had to go. You had to go get that shit. You can't not go get that shit now. You gotta hustle. Go for broke for what you want.
mm-hmm. But yeah,
If
I
if you just want to sit down and smoke and drink or whatever your thing is, if that's what you want out of life, that's what you're gonna get.
that's on you.
That's on you. You did everything you set out to be. This is what you said. If you somebody who sits on the porch and drink all day and whatever to get, that's what that's the effort you put in. You are achieving the highest level of what you set out
Mm-hmm.
to do. People don't realize they like I didn't like no I didn't get the opportunity. Like, no, you set the bar and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
You set the highest level of what you were willing to do, and you can achieve the ultimate high at the lowest level or the ultimate high at the highest of levels.
Yeah.
If you are a mid-tier basketball player, if you work your ass off, you can become a high-tier basketball player.
Mhm.
You don't got to be LeBron James to prove a point. There's plenty of guys in the NBA like who are just good players. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
but they just a reason. And there's so many great players that don't make it because they don't have your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? And if you
Mhm.
play sports, it's so many guys like, oh man, this guy is the best athlete on our team, but he might not end up going nowhere because he don't want to work hard. He feel like it's supposed to be just handed to him.
Right.
That's the difference between the guys who are in the league and the guys who never make it.
Right.
In football, basketball, whatever sport, they might the guy who might be in the NBA now might have been the worst player on his high school and college team. Didn't probably see no playing time, and got a little bit of playing time and some coaching and stuff like that in the league. Guess what? He in the league now
Mhm.
because he know what it's like not to have shit. So you got to play with that hungry mindset. Always, most dudes get arrogant. They like, man, I'm the best dude out here. Ain't nobody getting over me. Like none of
Mhm.
that. Like, oh no, I'm the best dude out here. I got all the scoring championships and all that stuff. Like, cause I was watching Friday Night Lights yesterday, and I still hate Voodoo Tatum to this day.
Mhm.
Fuck Voodoo Tatum. Right, Tatum.
I never watched it really. I only saw like here and
Oh,
there.
that show so fucking funny. See, you would get so like yeah, you would just get so emotionally just taken in. Like
Yeah.
Riggins,
Right.
why are you such a Riggins? Why are you such a fuck up? Riggins is actually your type too. Like look wise.
I'll look it up. I'll have to look it up.
Oh look yeah, look up Tim Riggins Friday Night Lights. She'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah, I'm
you
gonna look it up
son of
now.
a bitch!"
I'll look it up now before I close this shit out.
Right? I want your reaction. You're like, "Oh, you bitch!"
Once the browser opens up, to da to da. All right, one
How everybody get the
second.
cool custom controllers for they fucking gaming systems, but every time I try to buy a new controller, don't nobody have none.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I recognize him.
And
Hey.
yeah, little
Hey.
Tim Riggins, Timmy Riggins.
Hello, sir. Things I do
Ah.
today. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Look at that smile, people. Look at that. I told her. I told her. I was like, yo, you see Timmy, you gonna be like, oh
I
shit,
mean, shit.
right? And he did with everybody. He did with everybody. He like, yeah, he got all them. He got all the girls. He's one of those. He's one of those. He's like he's like a combination of Spinner and Sean
Okay.
from
I
Degrassi.
guess.
Like
Makes
if you
sense.
had to mark his character, like he's like those characters. Like yeah, he's like a combination of between
Oh, yeah, he
Spinner,
was in a.
Sean, and a little bit of Jay. Mm,
Yeah, he was in a movie called Covenant back in 2006. I remember him from that.
yeah.
And he was
And this
Gambit.
one, he like yeah, Friday Night Lights was his big break of a show.
Oh, yeah, like I briefly saw it here and there, but I never was dedicated to
Oh
that
yeah,
show.
I didn't start getting into it years after it was done. Like, cause the lady that plays Tammy, I seen her on Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I started watching it.
Yeah.
Mm,
All right. Let me put that down. But yeah, I think we're gonna end it there. We've been at it for almost 2 hours.
Hour 48. Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been fun. It's been real, as always. Stay hydrated. Wear a mask. Social distance. Get a goddamn vaccine if you fucking can. Stop being selfish. Jesus Christ. Be kind to another.
Be
Don't be
loving to
assholes.
one another.
Yes, be loving to one another. Be
Stop leaving
understanding.
people on red messages. Stop doing that. Stop doing it. Don't you
And
do that.
we'll see you guys next time. We'll probably do a gaming stream sometime soon. I don't know. And yeah.
Bye.
Mwah!